Next is Senator Feighan.
Thank you. A little over 2 weeks ago, I attended the service of Lyra McKee, that young lady whose life was taken in the Feighan. And at the service, I think it was the most powerful 80 seconds that I have heard in the last 10 years, and that was Father Martin McGill, who said, "Why in God's name does it take the death of a 29-year-old woman with her life in front of her to get to this point?" And he did send out a challenge to especially the two main parties in Northern Ireland, Sinn Féin and DUP, to get together and get Stormont up and running. And this has gone on now for more than 2 years. And I really think, in the memory of that very, very brave young journalist, that something should be done. I know that the Taoiseach, Minister for Foreign Affairs, is up there as well. And I hope that the two parties can get together, along with the other members of the councils and Stormont, that we can get Stormont up and running, because it has gone on far, far too long. And I understand there's difficulties on both sides, but I hope that in the memory of Lyra McKee, that sense will prevail. People are talking about the $3 billion in broadband. I very much welcome that decision. Very much welcome that decision for people living in rural Ireland. And for far too long we have people saying rural Ireland is dead and buried. Rural Ireland, you cannot get a house now in most of the towns and villages around the country because the amount of people that's moving into rural Ireland. And this is an infrastructure that's badly needed. And I think, as one person said, if somebody's in a house in Mayo or in Roscommon, they won't be taking up an office in Dublin. They won't be using commuting time to Dublin. And this is very, very welcome to balance the regional, I suppose, divide that happened in the last 20 years. But as one fellow today said on Midwest Radio, we spent 44 million on Easter eggs this year. And that's 2 months' Easter eggs for the next 30 years, and people are complaining about it. So let's get things in order here. The economy is going extremely well, and okay, we don't like losing money or spending money or something like that, but this is an infrastructure that is badly needed by rural Ireland, and I will not stand up and listen to populist politicians who shout rural Ireland is dead and buried, and now they're giving out that we're not delivering. This government has delivered $3 billion, and I believe it's an infrastructure that in 10 years' time, in 5 years' time, and 20 years' time, we will see that it will be like the electrification of the West. Thank you.